I know what I'm supposed to do. I really do. I've watched the videos, I've read the advice, I understand the logic. And somehow, I still don't move. Not because I'm lazy, not because I don't care, but because there's a gap between understanding something and actually acting on it. And living in that gap every day is exhausting. What makes it worse is that on the surface, nothing looks wrong. You're not failing dramatically. You're not falling apart. You're just standing still, watching days pass, watching plans stay unfinished, watching potential sit there unused. And that quiet kind of stuckness messes with your head, because now it's not just about productivity. It's about trust. You start questioning yourself. If I understand so much, why can't I act? And every time you delay again, a little part of you stops believing you'll ever follow through. That's the part no one warns you about. This isn't a motivation issue. And it's not a discipline flaw. It's something more uncomfortable than that. It's the weight of knowing you're capable of more, while repeatedly proving to yourself that you're not accessing it. That tension builds quietly, and it doesn't go away on its own. So you try again. You tell yourself tomorrow will be different. You reset, you make a plan, you feel a brief sense of clarity, and for a moment, it feels real. But then, the moment passes, and you're back in the same place you were before. That's when the loop starts forming. Not loudly, not dramatically. It looks like thinking, planning, consuming more information. Anything that feels like progress without requiring movement. And the longer you stay there, the harder it becomes to tell the difference. The reason this loop is hard to escape, because it feels responsible. Thinking feels like progress. Planning feels like effort. Learning feels like movement. But none of it forces you to risk being wrong or uncomfortable or exposed by action. So you stay there. Not because you're weak, but because staying informed feels safer than starting imperfectly. There's no failure in preparation, no embarrassment in thinking, and no immediate cost to waiting. That's why this isn't laziness. Lazy people don't care. You do. This is what it looks like when someone cares deeply, but has learned to protect themselves from disappointment by not fully stepping in. The problem is, protection has a cost. Over time, avoiding disappointment turns into avoiding yourself. You stop trusting your follow-through. You stop believing your intentions matter. And that erosion is subtle but real. So here's the smallest shift I found that actually interrupts this. Stop asking yourself if you feel ready. Readiness is a feeling, and feelings come last. Instead, ask a simpler question. What is the smallest action that creates evidence? Not motivation, not confidence. evidence. One sentence written, one tab closed, one step taken badly. That's enough to break the loop. This isn't about becoming disciplined overnight. It's about rebuilding trust in the smallest possible way. If this tension felt familiar, you're not broken. You're just stuck in a loop that can be interrupted. We'll talk more about that.